السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته جميعا. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم كلكم. So, Alhamdulillah, I have some good news today that the Black American Muslim Opinions officially have its website up, and you can find it at blackamericanmuslimopinions.com. The description of the video or description of in the description of the videos where you can find the website. So some update news. I'm still continuing to take donations for anybody who wants to donate to our website, our program, our platform. You could donate at Islam Finest, Islam's dollar sign Islam Finest, and that's at Cash App. So, Alhamdulillah, uh, I really want to take this platform off of Facebook due to the shadow banning of black topics on social media, and especially at Facebook. I know they're going to even censor this particular video, all my videos lately. If you've been watching my videos or my lives lately, and you notice that it's muted, and it says it's muted because of copyright, there's no music. That is Facebook censoring the topic. So anytime I mention the word black or Black Lives Matter or police brutality, even right now, when the live is finished, it mutes these statements, so it's censoring it. And then Facebook does not give me the option to rebuttal it or dispute it. They would say it's a copyright strike. And usually when you have a copyright strike, because I'm not new to this genre, so I know how to use fair use because I have a YouTube channel for many years in the website, and I translate and transcribe and edit videos. So I know how to use fair use. I know some of the law related to copyright. So Facebook doesn't give you the option in these videos on their live to dispute it. Doesn't give you the option to dispute. If I play somebody else's content that's copyrighted, they give me the option to dispute it. Either I could use fair use, or it's a public domain, or I have permission or license to use that person's content. Right? In my live videos now, when Facebook hits the disputes, or I mean, they put the copyright claim, they have no option for me to dispute. They don't leave the option open, meaning that they're censoring the topic. So now I'm working to move off of Facebook. All right, because Facebook, I don't want to empower Facebook, because Facebook puts ads on videos, and I don't want to empower Facebook. It'd be a very big hypocrite that I'm empowering a person or organization or a company that intentionally is against black peoples and intentionally is trying to silence their speech, their freedom of speech on on their platform. Facebook allows all type of black nonsense on Facebook, idiotic things, LBGQTI agenda. It claims that it's for freedom of speech and people to express themselves. So you can find right now in Pride Month that it has all type of LBGQT content there. But and everybody talk about black experience, social issues, Facebook is censoring it and pushing them off the platform. Or even they are restricting the accounts and they're abandoning them. Like my platform on Facebook, since George Floyd's death, since 2019, I was not able talk about black issues since the George Floyd death, I believe in 2020. All right. So they disable my payment plans and things like that. So now it's time to stop giving these hypocrites our money and our time. And if you think that no, you don't pay for anything on Facebook or whatever, well, if you have ads coming on your news feed, if you have ads in your videos, then Facebook is making money off of you. So as long as you're using Facebook and you're a black American and you're using Facebook, then you are promoting and you're encouraging this type of behavior with a racist. Facebook is racist, is anti-black. Let's say what it is. Facebook is racist and anti-black, and unfortunately, a lot of black, we don't care about none of these things. A lot of us, we don't care until it affects us. And then unfortunately, this is but the type of misbehavior that we have in the black community, where a lot of our peoples do not care, and the people use us to our own disadvantage. So now I'm off of Facebook. Inshallah, I'm gonna take this platform. So what I might do now, since Facebook do censor the videos and mute them, well, what I do when I go live on YouTube. All right, I have two YouTube accounts. One YouTube account, I believe is going to be all. I believe is also in the description of the video, and the bottom of the description. I believe I have a YouTube channel which is also titled Black American Muslim Opinions. You can search that in the Google search. I mean, on the YouTube search or the Google search. You can search it, and inshallah, it comes up. And I will. And there's also linked to the website. Our YouTube page for this channel is linked. So for the YouTube channel for Black American Muslim Opinions, I like people to subscribe. I don't have any subscribers, only 17 subscribers. There's over 300 to 500 people's in our page. On our Facebook page, there's about 300 to 500 now since I started the group. It's about almost maybe 400 now on the page, and 400, almost close to 400 individuals in the group. That should be at least 300 to 400 subscribers to the YouTube channel. So I'll ask people to subscribe to the YouTube channel to increase the subscription and to help promote our algorithm, or the algorithm for our channel, because YouTube also censors this type of content. But YouTube restrictions is YouTube will shadow ban you and you don't know, basically. So YouTube, what it does, it won't let you know that you have any restrictions unless it's an outright copyright restrictions or you have a lot of them. But what YouTube will do is just shadow ban your content, which it won't be promoted in the algorithm. So you have to promote it, meaning that the viewers and the subscribers have to always click like on all the videos, subscribe, make sure they are subscribed, and make sure in the subscriptions for the YouTube that you get every notification for that particular channel. And I'm talking about our channel. That's how you help promote the channels on YouTube that is being shadow banned by YouTube. On Facebook, it's going to be less limited because they mute the actual content. So what I'm going to start doing is, when I do lives, I always go live on YouTube and Facebook. So what I would start doing now, since they would mute the content on Facebook, I would now start adding the videos to our page, to Black American Muslims Opinions website. I will add, when I'm going to go live, I will do my best to put the YouTube subscription or the YouTube URL for the live in the video. It might take me some time, and if it consumes a lot of my time while I'm trying to do the live, then I will do it. I will put the URL or add the video to the website when the live is finished. But you will be able to get all updates on our YouTube page. I like everyone to subscribe to Black American Muslim Opinion on YouTube, and the link for subscription should be also in the page. Also, in any new lives I do when I'm doing interviews, I still have a few brothers that I have lined up some interviews with. One of them contacted me yesterday. That's the PhD student brother Malik Muhammad. So inshallah, that'd be something we're gonna do inshallah this week. I'm also still working on the website more, because I want to take a lot of our videos and content from YouTube and put it on the website, inshallah. And I'm also want to work on, which is not going to be easy right now for me, but I'm trying to work on to take all the video content I did for the last 2 years for Black American Muslim Opinions and the different interviews we recently have done, and I want to take all of it and put it in a book format, with some explanation and commentary, a little deeper commentary on it. I think that will help promote what we're trying to do and what we're trying to establish here. And I believe that a lot of the followers and people who listen in and tune in, that they will be able to get a better understanding when things are put in a book format. I do have an Amazon account, and if I do put the book out there, it's going to be on the website. But anybody who want to have update as soon as the book is uploaded. Then I will advise you, if you have a Amazon Prime account or Amazon account or Amazon Prime, that if you put my name, Abul Bora Muhammad Amriki, just how it is spelled here in this video, if you search me on Amazon, one of my books, one of my past books for Ramadan will pop up. If you click on the book, it will have my name on the book. Where if you click on that name, it will take you to a special page, or author page, where you could click to follow me. So any new uploads I have in any books to Amazon Prime for sale or whatever, it would be there. It would be there, and as soon as I upload it, you would get a notification that I uploaded a new book. I have another book coming out real soon by Sheikh Saleh Al Fawzan Hafidullah, and yani Adab Talib the ethics of seeking knowledge. And I basically finished translating the book, but I'm going through some of the editing process for editing the translation, and editing the book for Amazon platform, which is a special format. And I'm working on adding a few more sections in the book from the Sheikh, from other lectures and stuff. So I'm in the middle of that right now. But for Black American Muslim opinions, I definitely want to transcribe some of the lectures and some of the topics, especially about Islamic education, the mental health, and also about economics and using Islam to empower our community. I would definitely want to put some of these things, inshallah, in the book. So for those individuals who are looking forward for this, you would definitely get updates on that gradually as I'm doing it, because I'm like a one-man team right now. I'm a one-man team. I got a lot of things, projects going on. So I do, for anybody who's looking for work, I do pay people to edit for writing. I have some people now, but if I could find some brothers and sisters that have skills in editing, I do pay people to edit my work. So if there's somebody looking for a job or something, I do pay. And if your prices are good for the amount of work you want to do, I would definitely do it. In the past, I have been burnt in the past with sisters, unfortunately, with sisters who I paid to do work for editing, and they did horrible jobs. So I'm really kind of cautious. But if I have some brothers or sisters who have some small business where they do editing and things like that, I would definitely pay you out. So I'll definitely pay, but you have to be able to edit also. I have basically, like, count on how many projects. I have 2 books finished already, small books, they're not big. There will be in Islamic topics, religious topics. Whoever going to do the editing needs to have a little bit religious background. And the books that is going to be for Black American Muslim opinions per se, these editing is going to be based on transcriptions. So if there's a sister who could transcribe, I definitely, or a brother who transcribe, I would definitely will pay for these services. You just, if you want to transcribe or something, or you interested of this work, you could definitely hit me off in the message and the Black American Muslim Opinion on the Facebook page, or you could definitely hit me off on the website. And the website, on the homepage on the website, comment section. But I would prefer Facebook Messenger. If you go to Black American Muslim Opinions and you go to the message section and leave a message there about your services, I would definitely get it and respond back. And for those who know me on Facebook, you could definitely hit me in the Messenger, Facebook Messenger. I do work with WhatsApp, but I don't give my WhatsApp to everybody because I have people with spam messages all day. So I try to not utilize my WhatsApp, but for those people who know me, I definitely, they already have my WhatsApp. So if you have my WhatsApp already, you can hit me on WhatsApp, or you can hit Black American Muslim Opinion fan page on Facebook Messenger message system, or you can inbox me on Facebook message at my profile. All right, so to close out, I have at least right now a few donators, a few people who donated. Alhamdulillah, majority sisters, mashallah, tabarak. Um, I'm looking. I might start a GoFund page because now I'm going to look for collecting money for research project research. Um, some of the plans for the future that I'm in the middle of discussing with somebody right now, with our sister who I did an interview for, the sister Tamasina Muqtasid, who have her MA in accounting and have her own business. I'm in the middle of discussing with her. We're starting a nonprofit organization. We've been talking about it for a while. I'm looking to start a nonprofit organization for Black American Muslim opinions to start for researching about Black American social issues. Because I have read a few articles, a few books on research on Black American issues in America, and especially about economics, systemic racism. When it comes to some of the economics and some of the people who have done research, I find maybe few of them bias against Muslims, and I find that a few of them have a capitalist understanding of the world. And I want to do some research with some individuals based on Black American experience from a Islamic African American Muslim perspective, or a in general Muslim's perspective, right? So I want to do some research dealing with some of the social issues, systemic racism, economical issues within Blacks in America, and I want to start this with a nonprofit organization with a research team, and we'll be looking for donations for those who want to assist. And I already have some people who have the academic background who are ready to be put to work. So I'm really looking for the funds for material, research, books, and things that were going to be needed. Per se, I'm also about myself, as anybody might know or might not know, that most of my background has been for the last few years is Islamic studies, right? And I, as I mentioned in a few videos, I have studied Islam in Egypt for a few years, 2 years, and I came back and I studied 101 for a couple of years. So I have a website where a lot of my writings are in, translations and things like that. I wanted to utilize now some of my skills to talk about Black American issues from the Islamic solutions, Islamic perspectives, especially about empowering the Black community with some of the issues that I find that we have in our community where we don't know how to work together, and some of the misappropriate behaviors and thinking that we have in the community that prevents us from working together, or when once we get together, how we allow outsiders to come and destroy what we are doing. So I have written articles about these things. I want to continue my studies and research on Islamic economics and Islamic psychology, Islamic economics and Islamic psychology, and the general spirit of Islam, meaning how to ta'amanu ala birra taqwa, how to work together on bir and taqwa, from piety and fearing Allah. I have some writings already. I have some things in the play right now, but I'm looking to do a little bit more research on Islamic psychology and economics, because some of the those in the Muslim community, the African American Muslim community who has a background in psychology, I see a lot of error in it. I see a lot of contradictions to Islam, and sometimes it be from not psychology itself. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it be from the personality who's talking about Islamic psychology. They have sometimes I find that they lack when it comes to المسائل في Islam, وحكم في Islam, the Islamic rulings, Islamic issues. I see that there is a lack of Islamic education from them in that area. So inshallah, I'm planning to take another course soon on Islamic psychology, and I took some during the pandemic. I took some courses on psychotherapy, right? Different forms of psychotherapy. So I want to get an Islamic perspective on that, inshallah, Islamic psychology. Um, because a lot of the issues we have in our community, and especially the African American Muslim community, is related to thinking, cognitive issues, cognitive thinking that hurts the community. So I want to work on that, inshallah. Also, the next issue or the next thing that I have in works, I do have some other brothers with me. You might see them already in the videos or share some of the content. I want to let people know that Black American Muslim Opinion is not affiliated with any Islamic organization or any organization. We want to actually start our own organization as a nonprofit organization. We're not affiliated with any political party or any religious group per se. And we are Aqul Quran was Sunnah, meaning that I won't be sharing on Facebook or on our page or on our platforms anything that is going to be in the contradiction of Islam, like Tasawwuf, Sufism, the Ash'ira, the Ash'ari Creed, and anything like that. I'm not a promoter of these things. And I know that some of the people who come to our group and have came to the page or have came to the group and left certain comments, I discard them or I delete the comments itself. And if the people are disrespectful, I do remove them from the platform, right? So we're not affiliated with any of these particular groups, all right? Some African American Muslim, when it comes to this area, that there is some confusion for some, and the confusion is due to balance. And unfortunately, in the Black American Muslim community, uh, talking about Black social issues is not a unilateral thing being done collectively in the Black community. There are some Muslim in the Black Muslim community that turn their back away from social issues, like the Salafi community, or I'm gonna say the neo Salafi community, right? And those people follow Salafi pubs, Abu Khadija, Germantown Masjid, and that clique and that group. They're definitely turned their way away from dealing with Black social issues that many of his followers in America are victims of, right? And I've been with these people for many years myself, so I know them inside and out. Been following for many years, been part of them for many years, and I know they're definitely against Black social issues. And even the other day, somebody left a message who've been part of that community for many years, also say that they shun away from talking about Black issues and using Islam to solve Black social and political issues related to systemic racism, economical issues, but they would talk about all the symptoms of them, right? Somebody mentioned that the other day and left that message with me. So, so some people are definitely listening out, right? So I know about that. And then there's some African American Muslim, unfortunately, they are following any type of dysfunction that is Black. Right? You have some of the African American Muslims, any type of falsehood that has a Black name or Black features to it, they follow it. So you have some people I see who still pushing Dr. Malachi York, who is a filthy kafir. And that's what he is a filthy kuffar. And I see people sharing his rhetoric from his cult from back in the 80s, which no one follow no more. Because he changed, he have so many different cults that he left and started and left and went to something else. You have some of the African American and Muslim who's pushing now, whatever is Black, all the prophets are all Black, right? Islam doesn't support that. Islam doesn't say that all the prophets were Black. Allah has sent prophets to every nation and to every tribe, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent prophets to every different nations and tribe, right? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran that there's some prophets he mentioned and there's some prophets that he don't mention. All right. So we can't say all the prophets is black. All right. And this has come from some of the Dr. York rhetoric. All right. Dr. York rhetoric, which was back in the 80s and 90s, mixed with the Nation of Islam falsehood with the War Dean and the 5%er, and then he put his twist to it, right? We still have Muslims, African American Muslims, pushing that nonsense. I don't know how, you know. I don't know how they still following that guy. He's not even, he's in something totally different right now, and he's locked up in prison right now for molesting children. He got a life sentence for molesting his followers. All right, so I see some of that. So here I'm letting people know I'm not pushing none of that. You know, I'm not. We're not black nationalists. So some of the black nationalists in the Muslim community, whatever rhetoric of falsehood that comes that is black, they follow it. This is not Black American Muslim opinion. This is not us, right? We're not pushing this type of rhetoric. No, I seen somebody I told you yesterday pushing all these pictures of all the prophets, all black, and all of them look like Dr. Malachi York. You know, and I showed the guy, look, all these pictures like Dr. York. Here's the picture of Dr. York. All of them look like them. I'm not pushing. We're not pushing that type of rhetoric with us. You know. So we're gonna be. We are Kitab wa Sunnah, Aqru Sunnah wa Jamaat. We're not pushing none of that black nationalist stuff. That is some of the Muslims, African American Muslims, mixed with them. We're not. That's not us. I'm not pushing Tasawwuf and Sufism. I'm not pushing that. I'm not pushing Tasawwuf or Sufism. I'm not pushing the Ashariya creed. I am not pushing the Shiite creed. I'm not pushing Arab politics, whether it's coming from Saudi Arabia. Despite Saudi Arabia being in place where the Kaaba and the Mecca is, I'm not pushing Saudi politics. I'm not pushing any Arab politics or Desi Muslim politics or anything like that. I am here to cultivate the African American Muslim social issues in the US. That's the only thing this platform is about. From Quran and Sunnah, because we have unique problems in America in the black community that other Muslims in America do not have. We have a lot of issues in our community that stems from systemic racism, slavery, and white supremacy. And a lot of African American Muslim, whether you want to admit it or not, when it comes psychologically, we have the issue of self-hate and self-defeat. Self-hate and self-defeat. And I've been part of that community for a long time in the Muslim community, and I know what I am talking about. It is deeply rooted with our peoples. Deeply rooted. Deeply rooted. And how I know? I've been part of it for many years. Been part of it, especially following the Neo-Salafi Dawah in America from SP, Germantown Masjid, Abu Khadija for many years, following these fools, these idiots. So I know what I'm talking about. It that is deeply rooted in the African American Muslim community. In particular, some of the Salafi Muslim who was following that trend, that group, that cult for many years, that many of them have turned their back away from black social issues, that majority of his followers are black Americans and suffer from these issues. You preach about the symptoms, brothers got to take care of their women, why brothers are not working, right out of Germantown Masjid, why brothers are in the gangs that's shooting up the blocks. They talk about they talk about the symptoms, but they don't talk about the disease, the origin of the problem. It stems from systemic racism and white supremacy and the locking out of black people from wealth historically in the US government. They have to talk about why all the African American Muslim Salafi masjids is in the impoverished areas in the ghettos, because they don't understand nothing about redlining. They don't understand nothing about systemic racism and white supremacy and redlining, that those ghettos were made intentionally by the government. You talk about the symptoms, but you don't talk about the origin. I'm now no longer pushing these people's agenda. No longer. I'm not no longer being a Sambo, a Uncle Tom, and Masalau. And a lot of us African American Muslims, we use Islam as escapism. We use Islam as escapism from reality to deal with our reality. And when we look at the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba and the Tabi'een, Allah blessed them with the ilm, and they used the religion of Islam to empower themselves and peoples, and many peoples benefited from them. Their own peoples benefited from them from their own nationality, and other people from other nationalities that benefited from them, and they all worked together. The African American Muslims turning his back from the social issues, and they're worrying about, especially in that particular sector, they're worrying about what's going on in Saudi Arabia and the scholars in Saudi Arabia, or not even all of them, two or three scholars in Saudi Arabia that they blind follow, they fall out. And they turn a blind eye to what's going on in their own community where they live. Or we go into other areas of the African American Muslim community in general, and you'll find that it's in the areas where black peoples live and African American Muslims live, and none of them own any business. All the business owners are the immigrants or the immigrant Muslims, and they're taking advantage of the misappropriate behaviors and the dysfunctions of the African American community, and they're making millions of dollars off of this, off of our misbehaviors and misunderstandings. No longer I'm catering to this type of nonsense. That's why I started this. And even I mentioned it on Black American Muslim Opinion About page, what started me to start talk about these issues, because George Floyd's death. Anybody notice the place where George Floyd was killed at by the racist white police officer is in front of a immigrant Muslim from Palestine's business store, food cup, I believe. And right next on the side, in the basement, on the side of the store, is a masjid that says Nitma to Islam. And unfortunately, in many of the places, the ghettos in the African American community, in the ghettos now, you find masjids there, and they're not solving the problems of the social issues that's going on in the black community right there. They use Islam as an excuse to hide. I'm not saying all of us do that, but many of us are doing that. We use religion as excuse not to do anything. And then we're fighting each other over other people's politics or cultural views of Islam that's not even from Quran and Sunnah. So the Black American Muslim Opinion, I'm not pushing none of these agendas, none of these things. I'm strictly related to the social issues of Black Americans, social, economical, mental health, spiritual, moral condition of our peoples, and using Kitab or Sunnah for the solution. That's it. Awareness. Awareness. Like you have mental health awareness, AIDS awareness, woman breast cancer awareness. Just like you have Muslims who have organizations to feed the poor, or poor Muslims, or poor peoples. This, inshallah, Black American Muslim Opinion will be for to deal with the social, economical, mental, spiritual issues of the Black American Muslim opinions. I mean, Black American Muslims and Black Americans in general. Because the best way to give Islam, the best way to give dawah, it's not just calling to Allah only, but it's calling to Allah also, and living the example, being upright and living these examples. And this is what we're not doing in our community. Look, about a good 30 years ago, 40 years ago, we've seen that the most influential peoples in the civil rights movement or Black justice talk about social issues, they were Muslims. Malcolm X is the number one. Malcolm X. Today, we don't have any Muslims in our community like Malcolm X or finishing his work. Nowhere. Even the people who came from Malcolm X community, even today, they'll go to Harlem, some places in Harlem, and look at the imams that started. The imams were part of his masjid that he started. Even today, they're old, elderly, they're doing their best, but it's not enough. There's nowhere I could find anybody anywhere who's finishing the work of these individuals like Malcolm X. That's why I put him on our icon, Malcolm X. You have many Muslims globally, internationally, talk about Malcolm X and Malcolm X work. We got a lot of African American Muslims. If they hear somebody talk about black people's social issues like Malcolm X said back then, you would turn around and say this person is a black nationalist. And I'm talking about Malcolm X as El Malik Shabazz, El Hajj Malik Shabazz. I'm not talking about Malcolm X in the years with the nation. I'm talking about Malcolm X as he's a Sunni Muslim after he made Hajj. If I repeat some of the things that he said after making a Hajj related to the social issues of the Black Americans and what he said about Islam and the Muslims in the Muslim world and how he wanted to connect the Muslims with the Muslim world to solve Black American social issues. If I was to say this today in one of these Salafi, neo-Salafi masters, they would say you a black nationalist, but Malcolm X is the one who opened the door for a lot of brothers to go to Saudi Arabia to study in their universities. And the Malik of Saudi at that time, at Faisal, he had connections with Malcolm X and was very much interested in his struggle for black peoples in America. And that's the same Saudi leader who initiated the Saudi Islamic universities in Saudi Arabia. That's why I keep on telling people the neo-Salafis in America, SP and them, they're not really Salafi and all that stuff. These people's the enemies of Islam, actually. They're the enemies of Islam at the end of the day. Malcolm X will open the door for African American Muslims to study in Saudi universities. You be the same, some of you neo-Salafis will be the same people who hear what I'm saying, calling me a black, well, say this guy, he's a black nationalist. But Malcolm X opened the door for all the African Americans to go to Saudi Arabia and study in the university. You see how self-hate is deep? Self-hate is very deep because it's a psychological issue. And the person who have these beliefs and this type of thinking don't know it. They don't know it's a misbehavior. They don't know that doesn't promote good for its own peoples. In the same sense, the people will recognize Malcolm X. The Muslim will recognize him, and you have some of the neo-Salafi African Americans who have the self-hate, got issues with what he's saying. SubhanAllah. This platform is the opposite of that thinking. And if anybody who wants to donate and who wants to help, please, you can definitely donate at $ Islam Finance at Cash App. I definitely need your help. It will help promote our group. It will help promote the website. Alhamdulillah, got some funds to put up the site, but it has monthly maintenance. This is some monthly maintenance you have on the internet. We have an online platform. There's monthly maintenance. So whatever is donated, it will definitely go to the cause. And I will definitely start a GoFund page soon when I know exactly what I would need and how much I would need. But I'm definitely pushing now to start a non-profit organization. I am pushing that. I have a sister now, as I mentioned earlier. Same sister, I have an interview with her on our channel. I'll put it on the website. Inshallah, maybe after this, I will upload it to the website. But this sister, alhamdulillah, she's, for a while, me and her been talking about how to start the nonprofit organization, and she have one herself, and she has started one for other individuals. So we in the mix of talking about the filing paperwork and the payments, and I'm trying to get some of the brothers who initially I was working with when I started this platform. I'm trying to get them involved, and that's the brother Hanif Davids. And inshallah, I want to get the brother Malik Muhammad, inshallah, involved, which I already spoke to them. But I'm looking to get more Muslims who have a academic background, who are on Kitab and Sunnah, and who wants to help out for more ideas. So I'm open for more ideas. I'm definitely open for more ideas, all right? But I definitely want to start something as a non-profit organization. All right, because this will help to get where we need to go, and to make it official. I want to make something official. I want to do like back in the days, like some of the brothers, You know how they start like storefront masjids, we used to call them. They still are, some of them still considered to be storefront masjids. You know, halfway doing things. I don't want to know. I want to get away from this halfway doing things. We have too much of this already in our neighborhoods and community. I don't want to do half step and half do things. So I really want to start it off with a nonprofit organization. That's the best way to do it. So anybody have any comments or any questions, you know, you could definitely leave them. But I'm letting people know when it comes to the lives, I'm going to move off of Facebook platform. So if you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Black American Muslim Opinion. I only see 17 subscribers. You know, I have another channel on Facebook. I have like 12, almost 1,200, 1,200, almost 2,000 now. 2,000. When we talk about Black peoples and our issues and getting our stuff together, Black American Muslims seem like you're dragging your feet. But when it comes to some of the other YouTubers on Facebook, I mean, all the YouTubers on social media and on Facebook, when it comes to some of their agendas, like brothers, you like Sag, Lipan, you like these guys, right? But these guys pushing far right politics. Then you have Chikachu, far right politics. You guys have no problem subscribing to these people's channels, and you don't even know that they're pushing a Islamic version of far right politics. If you have no problem following people like Yakin Institute, Umar Suleiman, who's pushing far left politics. And you have no problem donating and following these peoples when it comes to your own peoples. To better your own peoples and the condition of your own peoples, like we drag our feet, is part of self-hate and self-defeat of the African American mindset. I'm here. I am the opposite of that. So I'm gonna shake a lot of you guys. A lot of things I'm going to say is going to shake your core. It's going to shake your core. You're going to feel uncomfortable because your core has a lot of self-hate in it, which you was taught. And I'm here to unteach these things. So I'm going to shake your core. You're gonna feel trouble when you hear me speak. That's going to be the sign that you've been programmed to be this way and to think this way. I'm here to shake it. I'm here to shake it. I'm here to shake it. And if you feel some issues about it, because you know deep down inside there might be some issues that you have that is self-hate. I know brothers be asking, why the immigrant Muslims, they could do this, but why our peoples cannot do this? Why they can't come together? Because we've been taught this to behave like this. It's called self-hate and self-defeat. It's the misappropriate behavior and thinking that the African American have that does not benefit them as a community, especially the African American Muslim community. You shouldn't be like this because Islam empowers peoples whoever it reached and it touched. Whatever race of people it reached and touched, you can find historically in Islam, they done good for Islam and Islam empowered their peoples. Majority of Muslims in the world, they're not Arab. Arabs are only 6% of the Muslim world. Prophet ﷺ was an Arab. And Arabs are only 6% of the Muslim world. 6%. Majority of the Muslims are Asians. So that means that Islam reached that far to Asia and the people who are Asian, to China and Asia, Southeast Asia. It reached to India, Africa. And you can see historically when Islam reached to these peoples and to these different nations, how Islam empowered their peoples. Our African American Muslims, we stuck on stupid in America because we've been programmed. That's something that's psychological issue. That's why I said I want to study now, inshallah, Islamic psychology, not Eurocentric psychology, but Islamic psychology. Or if you study Eurocentric psychology, have the intentions to study it to undo Eurocentric thinking in Black peoples. Right? Economics, you have something in the economics, right? So if you study economics in the West, then you learn to keep up the system of white supremacy. So now you take your education and use it to remove it from your peoples. who are promoting, or your peoples who are using, who's taking their finances and their money to enrich the economy of white supremacy, the Eurocentric economy. You use it to empower your people, so blacks who have the spending power use it to empower themselves. Stop being individuals and be a jama. Huh? Be the jama. So Islam is about jama. وَاعْتَصِمُوا حَبْلَ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. جميعا. Hold on to the book of Allah. All together. جميعا. وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. ثم في آيات أخرى توصل بالحق سورة عصر. توصل means to do something mutually together. Mm. We need to change the thinking, change the behavior. Okay, so this video, alhamdulillah, been a good 40 minutes. Like I said, anybody wants to donate, please. It's $ Islam Finest at Cash App, and we want to have some skills. Talk about the editing. I'm looking to pay somebody. You could definitely hit me at Facebook Messenger, our fan page, or you could definitely hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and I definitely respond back to you.